Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. If there's something you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And Ace of Swords. This is very, very good, especially for a Gemini. Clarity, peace, calm, not looking for answers, right? We don't know everything, and that's okay, right? This is a card I think is kind of saying that in real time you're going to be getting the information that you need, right? And so there's a certain trust with this card. There's a certain ability in you right now to just kind of intuitively feel your way through your situation right now. And let's see how that's going to work out. We've got a Hanged Man. Interesting. The Hanged Man is kind of a card that's saying, look, we don't assert ourselves. We don't use our human will right now. We just have to accept the situation, and we have to be guided by this divine energy, by this spiritual insight, by this, this real-time download. This is not really a download, right? This is streaming, okay? We see the Hanged Man there because we don't want to assert ourselves. We don't want to try to coerce the universe, right? Hermit energy. Yeah, see, there we go. 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles now. I mean, 4 of Wands, sorry. We are taking this streaming service, whatever this is, this download, this clarity, this insight, this real-time delivery of that kind of intuitive message, and we're following through. We're putting it into action. Okay, so we're not asserting ourselves. We're following the instructions from Spirit right now. Yeah, and I think you have this really. This is what the Taoists would call an empty mind. This is a mind that's not empty. A lot of chaos going on here. This is a lot of stress in the last few days, I think, for you. The clarity is coming, right? The option here is to throw in the towel and retreat and just withdraw and retire and not get involved with it. Just give up, right? With the 10 of Swords and the Hermit. But you're not doing that. You're just saying, okay, I'm going to trust in Spirit. I'm going to do what kind of feels right. I'm going to do what I'm kind of doing what we're told in a way, right, by that higher spiritual energy, and we're going to implement those plans, and we're going to do those things, and we're going to keep working at it, right? But in a way now where there is this mental energy is relaxed. Okay, let's keep going. We got a Knight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, I'm just misspeaking all over the place. Ace of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. My mouth doesn't want to work today. All right, so yeah, we've got good earth energy here at the end, and we do have this interesting juxtaposition with this kind of water, go with the flow kind of energy, and then there's this assertiveness of the Knight of Wands. Okay. Because we kind of feel as if I'm not making conscious decisions, if I'm not deciding, if I'm not trying to like force my will on the universe, then I'm being manipulated, that I'm kind of losing the game here, right? So it's really a 5 kind of energy. It's this idea of we have to push, otherwise we will get pushed. Right, so there is this matching of force. We feel like we have to keep pushing against the universe because the universe is pushing against us. Right? But that's not the Hanged Man. That's us trying to swim against the current. Right? That's us trying to push the river too much. Whereas I think the method that you're being advised to follow is just that, following the course of the river. Not trying to force a lot of change on the situation. That could be the Five of Swords over here. The 5 is the card of change. It's a very martial energy. It's the card of change. And this might be the idea, right? It's air energy. The idea that we are supposed to force change upon the world, that we are responsible now for, if I want something, I've got to go out, I've got to fight for it, I've got to push back, I've got to force my will on the universe, because the universe is always pushing against me, right? So if I want something, I have to push forward and get it, right? And I think right now that's been causing a lot of conflict for you. At least mental stress, mental conflict, right? But now we've got that Ace of Swords, we've got clarity. We've got that peace of mind, right? And we've got this go with the flow, hanged man energy. I like the hanged man because it just, when we put it sideways, as it's supposed to be, kind of crossing the top card here, or the center card, it looks like they're swimming. Now, I guess it's up to you which way you want to swim. We could swim that way. We could swim into confusion. We could try to swim against the current. Right? Try to go upriver, swim upriver, and just get further and further into disorder and chaos until we eventually just we just break down. We quit, right? We just give up. And we give up really because our muscles are our mental muscles, even our spiritual muscle, is going to just get so exhausted from this upriver swim that we just cannot swim any further. Okay, we just cannot swim any further. But I think what we're doing is we're being given the thumbs up by the universe, right? The universe is saying, I got this. Just don't worry about it. Just go with the flow. Everything is happening the way it should. Let's not stress about things. Maybe things are not exactly how you wish them to be right now. See, that 10 of Swords is up here, still looming on us, still lingering here. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And it's going to go right here, Tiny Bob Ross, right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us our confirmation at the end of the reading. If at any point during this reading you feel like you know what that card is or you have a hunch, put it down in the comments. Let's do it together as a group exercise. Okay. Now let's look around at what we have again. These are our two majors. Okay, the Hanged Man and the Hermit. And these might be our only options right now. Right? These might be our only options, is to either literally quit, retire, walk away, or to allow the flow of this situation to carry us where we need to be. Okay? Trying to swim upriver is not going to do it. I think it's going to lead to more confusion, more chaos. It's going to lead to this feeling of defeat and loss. Right? I think our muscles are going to be exhausted, and I think that it's not going to work out in our favor. Let's just say that. So we've got our two major arcana energies, and I think that really the Hanged Man is about a shifting of perspective, but it's kind of like it's how are we going to adapt to the situation? See, if we put our head that way, we feel like we're swimming against the current, but you know what? The current's still flowing this way. We're not changing the course of the river. We're just wearing ourselves out fighting to go the other way. Either way, we're going this way, all right? So we might as well just kind of align ourselves with that current, because then I think we will achieve that sort of clarity. And it's kind of, I wish that we could just point this card that way too. And what I mean is that if we're trying to fight the current, right, then what we are not doing is is applying ourselves to what we actually can be doing, to what we can accomplish right now. We're so busy fighting against the flow of energy that we're not taking advantage of the energy as it is. So if we turn ourselves this way and we go with the flow of the universe, let's say, then I think we can apply our forces, our energies, right? All of our talents and skills, our heart and our mind. We can apply it toward what is actually doable right now, rather than all of that effort being wasted swimming the other way. So we're going with the flow now. Could you imagine if you're floating on the river, right? That's one thing. You're kind of in neutral, right? You're just, the current's taking you. And then if you try to swim the other way, well, that's not going to work. You're exhausted and you're still going this way. But could you imagine if now you align your forces with the current of the river and you start swimming in the same direction as the river? You're going to go real fast. It's like walking on an escalator or one of those people movers at the airport. You know how people, those little belts that just move across the airport, people just stand there, right? I like to stand there. It's restful. But when you start walking, it feels like you're the Flash. You're just zooming through the airport. Same idea, right? But what causes the friction and the slowdown and all of this kind of discord is us thinking and believing something different, right? Thinking and believing that things should be different. That the way things are, the Four of Wands, the way things are, not how they should be. Okay, so we have this different, we have now 4 and a 5. And what's the difference between a 4 and a 5? Well, it's an ace, right? We go backwards, we're adding an ace to the 4, we get the 5. If we go in the right direction, we're subtracting the ace from this 5 and we're getting the 4. We're getting stability, we're getting a flow, we're getting kind of a systematic approach to things. The 4 of Wands is terrestrial time. So I kind of feel that there's something going on in your life right now where it's just like we kind of feel like we're on schedule. The universe is late or early or whatever, right? Or just not prepared. Day late, dollar short. It doesn't work that way, right? We have to adapt to the universe, not the other way around. Now, of course, we have this ability to shape our environment. That's what humans have been doing since that's what all animals do really, right? Shape our environment. We take things as they are, as we find them, and we say, how can I make this something that's going to be conducive to my prosperity? We don't end up in a Pacific Northwest, I'm thinking forest, kind of rainy area, foresty area, and we think, I don't like this. I want to make it a desert, right? And we make it a desert. Okay, now I'm in the right environment. Now I can make this into, an environment that's conducive to my prosperity. No, we kind of have to take things as we find them and do our best with those. That's what the magician does, right? We don't have the magician here. Maybe we'll get it. The magician is that energy that can take the elements, the 4 elements, right? And you see the magician with the wand and the table, and there's all those tools on the table. Those represent the elements, right? Fire, water, air, and earth. The magician can take the world as it is, as we find it, and work magic with it, make it the best situation possible, right? But we can't just say, I don't like any of this stuff, swipe it all aside, and then expect the universe to then put something else here instead. Magic is kind of like an episode of Chopped. You get a basket, there's stuff in the basket, you got to do your best with it, make something delicious, right? So I'm kind of hoping for the magician card over there. But I don't know that we're there yet. I think right now it's just a matter of us accepting that, hey, I can't fight the current. I can't fight the current. I have to I have to synchronize my watch to Spirit's watch, Spirit's timepiece, cosmic time. Maybe that'll be the Wheel of Fortune, right? Which is the other kind of end of this. This is terrestrial time. The Wheel of Fortune would be then the kind of divine timing, the spiritual time. It's the cosmic timepiece, as I like to say. So anyway, we've got our majors. We've got fire, water. A lot of air over here, of course, and then we've got our earth energy over here. I think really the air this is what we've got to try we've got to just stop, you know? We've got to stop with the negative self-talk. We've got to stop being negative about the universe, okay? And I don't think you are negative about the universe, but I think you have been. I don't know how distant this Five of Swords is to you. You know, maybe it's just barely still in sight, but maybe it's still kind of right there. Maybe we do still have a little bit of this to deal with, right? And with that, I'd like to do a Language of Flowers affirmation card. Anytime I get that Five of Swords, I think we should do an affirmation card. The Crocus, breathe, calm, rest, stop, and just be, right? That's what we have here. What I say, that's kind of the peacefulness, clarity, calm. Right, resting, stop the self-talk, stop the chatter, stop overthinking, stop the negativity, just breathe, right? And this is really, you know, the breath and the mind, the air energy, the swords is very, I mean, this is real stuff here. If you are thinking chaotic thoughts, you notice your breathing is a little chaotic too, right? And you're angry, you're huffing and puffing, right? That's kind of the metaphor. If you're calm and peaceful, your breath is slow and calm and peaceful. So if it works one way, maybe it works the other way. If you want to be calm and peaceful, if you want to be kind of tranquil in your life, try regulating your breath. Now, get your doctor's approval first. Breathe slow, breathe clearly, breathe deeply, in and out. Right? To your capacity. Don't strain yourself. It shouldn't be work. You shouldn't be sweating. Just calm, right? Calm breathing. And I think that you'll find your mind really settles down too, right? The mind will affect the breath will affect the mind, both swords energy, so it makes sense to me. So breathe, right? Breathe. The Hermit underneath everything, I think, is really this kind of we're teetering on the edge here of just saying, I'm done, right? And I don't know if this is a family thing, could be relationships. I almost feel like there is some kind of a love relationship here. We got this Ace of Cups over here, right? Maybe not, though. It might be this idea that we're really looking for, what we want to find is love generally. It doesn't have to be romantic love. Okay, everybody put your pitchforks away. Love is love, all right? Love can manifest in many different ways. And the Ace of Cups is demonstrating that. This is the source of all love. This is the glue that holds the universe together. Platonically, romantically, professionally, love with ourselves, love with pets, plants, people, in love with ideas, right? Love is expressed and can manifest in an infinite variety of ways. Not just romance, okay? But it might be that, okay? And I'm not trying to knock that at all. I'm married. I love my wife. We've got this, this romantic bond. Also this, deeper spiritual bond, emotional bond, intellect, professional bond. I mean, all these things, right? She has her own channel on YouTube, and we're kind of running this business together. And, love is a lot of different things, and that's what this Ace of Cups is representing. Now, it's in the environment because I think maybe that's what we're looking for. Maybe we're just trying to find that in whatever way you're looking for it, all right? Whatever way you want it, that's what this card is, okay? It could be romantic. We could be just looking for that deeper connection with life. We could be looking for that sense of passion, that sense of purpose and meaning to our life, right? And I think that, we've been swimming against the river. So, for instance, we feel like, well, I'm trying to find my path. I'm trying to find my purpose. And the universe, it just keeps pushing against me. And I have to just fight against the universe to try to get to what my purpose is. Well, maybe the universe maybe it's just a river trying to push you toward your purpose, but we're fighting against it, thinking our purpose should be something else, right? And that would be an error of the magician, not taking the universe as it is presented to us and working with that, working with what we've got, right? It's this idea of, we have to accept the life we're born into to some degree. Now, of course, we can nudge the river. We can influence. We can be co-creators with the universe. That's a different subject. But the idea of, I'm giving up. I'm pessimistic. Things are hopeless because I wasn't born into the right family. I wasn't born into the right place of the world. I wasn't born into the right time, in the universe or whatever. And the idea that, this just wasn't it, just bad luck on my part. I was born at the wrong time, wrong place, wrong family, Rather than taking, okay, this is the situation, this is the time, the place, the family I'm born into. I've got to make the most of this, and I've got to thrive. Okay? And that's kind of the difference that we're talking about. Now, maybe that thriving means that, you're going to succeed in a way that you can go somewhere else. You can get out of that family. You can get out of that time and place, right? But we have to start right here, right now, where we find ourselves with what we find around us. That's why I say the magician card is kind of that MacGyver card. I'm talking a lot about the magician here today, even though we don't have that card, but I feel like the universe is trying to nudge you toward that magician energy. Okay, and if it's not going to be that mystery card, maybe it'll be in the extended reading. We'll have to wait and see. The Four of Pentacles is really that stability of life and saying that, hey, no, everything is fine the way it is. Like, this is just a system that's functioning properly. Like, everything's in order, everything's running on a schedule, everything's fine. But then someone comes in and starts causing all this chaos, disrupting this really nice flow and this nice system that we have. It's kind of, somebody that has a, I'll use my own family for an example. My wife has a particular way that she likes to do things, like taking care of the house, and we share in all these things, but she has a routine. She has the way that she likes things to flow. Waking up, doing certain things with our daughter, and, the cooking, the cleaning, the organizing of things, right? And it's just kind of, there's a system there, right? There's a flow to it. But then maybe I'll come in the room and I'll start moving stuff around. I'll start looking for things. I'll start I'll put the dishes in the dishwasher. And she's like, ooh. I'm bringing in this chaotic energy, right? I'm bringing this assertiveness, let's say. I'm bringing I'm bringing my human will into it, and I'm changing what's already been established. I'm turning that 4 into a 5. Because now I'm just here and I'm going to do things differently. I'm not going in flow with her system. I'm just thinking, I better run the dishwasher. And she's like, well, no. We're going to do it at the end of the day. It's all part of the flow. There's a system here. And then I come in with that Ace of Swords, and it's kind of what I'm making is I'm making chaos, right? Rather than me being calm and just kind of easing into the system and being part of that flow. And maybe it takes time, right? You think of somebody who just started a job. Well, they might have all these ideas and they want to make changes and we should do things a different way. No, this stuff shouldn't be over here. Let's move everything over here. And everybody else is saying, hey, bro, chill, We've got a system here. You can't just come in on the first day and start changing everything. Just blend in and be part of our system, and then we can start enacting change. We can start nudging the river a little bit. But to just come in and immediately kind of have that energy like this isn't the way things ought to be, right? Because that's not the magician, right? That's not us going to something and accepting it how it is and becoming part of this, and then slowly, being able to influence change and asserting our will. We don't just come in and we're not just bringing the tower moment, right? But the tower moment's what we got kind of here with this fire on fire, Aries, Knight of Wands energy. This is someone who's rushing in like a tower energy. And they're just, that's what's causing a disruption in the system. And of course it's, what's causing chaos in your mind. And so we feel that there's this rush, there's this urgency, there's this, the environment is not perfect, it's not the way I want it, it's not the way I need it. I need to change it as soon as possible. And it's all, of course, the very best intentions. You have the intention here to find or establish more love in your life. This is what we're looking for. And it's maybe we're going through every drawer in the kitchen, every cabinet. We're looking under every rug. We've tossed all the couch cushions, and the bed's been everything is just a mess because we're looking for something. When really, if we just go with the flow, right? If I were to ask Lenore, she would say, I put it over there. And my hair's a mess, and the couch cushions are everywhere. I'm like, oh, thanks. If I'm looking for my hard drive or something to record my readings. It's kind of that we're bringing that chaos into it, but it's in search for something good, something beautiful, something we need, something we love. We want to have more love in our lives. But we can't force the universe to be how we need it to be, right? And so I think that, not only are we getting that thumbs up from the universe, but we have to give the thumbs up right back. And my daughter started doing this with me, giving the thumbs up. When she likes something, when something's going well for her, and she feels like she's in the mix, especially at jiu-jitsu. She's having a good time, she'll look at me from across the mat. She'll give me the thumbs up. If she's not really feeling it, she might do sideways. If she wants to go home, she'll do thumbs down. Thankfully, not too many thumbs down, right? It's mostly thumbs up. And I think that it's really this thumbs up. It's I feel like I'm in harmony with this. It's working. I don't feel the opposition. I don't feel like the universe is pushing me and I have to push back. Now we're just all kind of going in the same way. And usually it's when she's getting along with the other people in her class, the other kids. And they're having fun, and nobody is getting mad, and nobody is everybody's listening, everybody's kind of having a good time together, and they're supporting each other, and that's usually when I get the thumbs up, because it's that harmony. It's that everybody's going with the flow. Now there are some kids that will come in and maybe they'll be late to class or something, and that kind of causes a disruption, or maybe they'll have a toy in their pocket and that causes a bit of a disruption. But eventually everybody kind of gets on the same page and everybody's going with the flow. Then of course class is over and it's time to go home. But anyway, you get the idea. I don't mean to ramble. The Queen of Pentacles is retrospection. It's our ability to kind of look at ourselves from an outside point of view, or look at our history even and see, well, yeah, I see kind of how I was acting. And we all do this, right? Hindsight is 20/20. That after the fact, when things have calmed down, when we've taken the breath, our mind is clear, then we kind of can see, oh gosh, yeah, I was really all over the place today. I mean, I do that with my readings. Sometimes I'll go back and watch some of these readings that I film, and my gosh, I was just like scatterbrained, or I was just talking so fast, and I was like going through half an idea, and then I was moving to the next idea before I'd even finish a thought, And so sometimes that it takes that kind of looking at ourselves that way, looking at what we did yesterday or the day before, to kind of say, okay, well, what do I need to do today then? What does that mean? Like if I look at my old videos and see how fast I'm talking, then today I realize, okay, I gotta slow down. I think that it'd go a long way, right? And the Three of Pentacles now is the realization that everything is happening the way it's supposed to, that there is still such potential in this situation that it's kind of like saying, no, this is exactly where you need to be. If we look at the Three of Pentacles, it looks like one of those drones, with the fans on the bottom. And if those fans are spinning at the same RPM, that drone will lift straight up. It'll rise, perfectly. If any fan is kind of not working so well, or one just decides to go slower than the rest, the thing's going to flop over and break, right? Thing's going to flop over and break. We have to make sure that every component of this situation, of our life generally, that everything is in harmony, that everything's spinning at the same rate of spin or vibration, right? So that we can ascend. And usually this card's about internally us, our body, our heart, our mind have to be tuned to the same frequency, vibrating at the same rate, so that we can rise equally. That we can rise at all, not just flop over, right? But this card is also talking about that kind of harmony with others or in our external environment. Between us, we are one, perhaps we're one wheel, one fan on this drone, right, of life. And we want to rise. And for it to rise, we all have to be in harmony. Now, I can't walk into a situation and expect everybody else to start vibrating at my speed, right? We have to harmonize, and maybe they'll slow down a little bit, I'll speed up a little bit. Eventually, we'll get tuned properly, and it'll work, right? This is one of those fans, okay? This is one component of a larger system. And this is, of course, this is you. This is your whole world. This is your life right now. And I think that we have to realize that we're an effective part of the whole. We are one fan on this drone of life, and we've got to spin in harmony with the other fans. Again, if one fan isn't working right, the thing's going to just crash and burn. Right? Now, once we get established in that harmony, then maybe one fan can go a little faster or the others can compensate, and then we've got motion, right? Not just flopping over. Okay? And I think that's very important to illustrate the point that if we go into a situation and I'm refusing to spin at the same speed, then this thing is never going to get off the ground. Maybe you're trying to start a business, maybe you're trying to have a successful career, or you have a successful relationship, or whatever it is. If we are going into it, swimming against the current, trying to be that odd one out, this thing is never going to lift off. It's never going to rise. We go in, we harmonize, everything gets in sync. We start rising. Now we can start working together, and doing some maneuvers. Okay? Let's look at the mystery card. This video is getting pretty long. I told myself I was going to make short readings today. It never works out that way for me. Okay. Obviously, I think Wheel of Fortune or Magician card. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Eight of Wands. Okay. We can use this as the same metaphor. All of these javelins, wands, arrows, all of this will energy, all of this fire is going in the same direction, right? I don't think there's one of these going in a different direction, although we could maybe say that there is. There's one in there that looks a little bit shorter than the rest, right? Maybe that's a javelin that's trying to go the other way, right? It's still going the same way as the others, but it's trying to fight its way back. So really all it's doing is slowing itself down. Do you see the point there? No pun intended. So if we're going with the flow of everything, we're going to be zooming. Okay? If we try to fight that current, we're not actually going in a different direction. We're still going the same way, but we're just falling behind because we're struggling against it. Okay? And this card illustrates that, and I think it sums up the whole reading, and I like it. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Gemini every Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.